No, I got this
No,
dog.
Quincy's there, dude. Ben, you are.
You don't want to sit next to me? Is it because I made it weird?
I'm in a bad mood.
Okay,
Is
I'm
what
sorry.
It is.
Oh man. Well, let me tell me if this is a rude question. Are you trying to pull yourself out of depression?
Yeah.
Just because you got a haircut, you're dressing nice.
You don't. If you say it, like you don't. It's just like everyone can see it. We all.
Well, you're in the.
Just let me feel like.
You're in the. No, sorry. Well, I should. You're right.
Cut my hair.
I'm doing the same thing, is why I'm saying. But
really?
you have like the first day out of depression look, where it's like he's taking steps to get his life together.
Well, this was panic because I tried cutting my own hair. I did it last time, and I thought I did okay, and then this time I got cocky, and I just like completely. I gave myself a crackhead mullet, and then this morning, I always remember we're doing the podcast in the morning. I'm like, oh, it's Tuesday, and then I was like, I bullied Lily into cutting my hair before.
That's awesome.
I didn't want to bring our stock down.
How do you feel about Ben coercing your girlfriend into giving him haircuts in the living room?
I'm working. I don't care. Do whatever you want to do. It was wild. The craziest part about the whole thing is he chopped off half of his sink and floor and then just left it there for me to find.
I was having
That's
a moment,
the only part that he panicked.
I looked at myself in the mirror
receded.
and I left the room in that there was what should have happened is I should have looked in the mirror, cleaned up some of the hair, and then
I need to get on my iPad and watch some fucking Jordan Peterson right now. If anybody's gonna pull me out of this stump, it's gonna be Jordan.
I need some JP.
That's how you destroy like pipes in a sink, is with hair. Like that's worse than
It's our sink, but it's a combination because I shave into the sink. I'm fucking.
I didn't throw it. I didn't let it. Part of the reason also when I went in there is I had I closed the drain when I did it, so the hair didn't get down there.
Nice.
And then I just opened that and drained it.
Well, I was gonna say you look good. I'm glad you look good, man.
Thanks.
I like the haircut. You're wearing a hat, so nobody can see it, but it looked sharp. And when I came in, I was like, "This is nice."
Yeah, it's always a little. I think I can dance a little closer to the Nazi-ish haircuts because I have the Jew card in my back
I think
pocket.
it looks like a Nazi haircut. It's like a nice
Shaved on the sides always is it's 2017 Nazi. It's
Like
not
if I
like
was in a-
classic
right.
like
It's Richard Spencer-ish.
black and white movie.
Sure.
Yeah, it's Tiki Torch.
I'll give you an example. If I was in a roast battle tomorrow, you're telling me you wouldn't have any.
No, I would probably say that you looked like long Leave It to Beaver.
Damn,
You look like Leave It to Beaver was put on a medieval rack.
dude, it's good to not know references sometimes because I feel like my feelings appear.
No, he looks good.
I don't get your alt comedy fucking
It's all,
Ren and Stimpy jokes. All right.
You know, anytime I write a joke that's like hinged upon somebody knowing a reference, I'm like, this is alt bullshit. I hate it, but I also can't help myself, dude. Mm-hmm. It's not a good way. It's not a good way to write. You want to be so universal, but I don't know how to like write jokes about like things that are so universal.
You're not alt. I feel like
I was considered alt in like 2013.
I know, but you have enough. The bigotry, not bigotry, but just like the
alt guys used to be bigoted.
Being a racist alt guy would be cool.
It's cool.
If you did the
If you do
Steve
it that
Martin
way.
banjo thing,
If you do it that way.
like if you said slurs.
David
Right.
Cross just said the N-word on like this week.
I see. Yeah.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
He got in trouble for that. Didn't he make the eyes at a lady too?
Charlene Yee.
Yes, he did.
Which
it was Charlene Yee.
He did this thing.
She canceled like 4 people all at the same time when she came out with her statement after House.
That's right.
Yeah, after she got off House, she was like, "This guy sucks. This guy sucks."
Yeah,
James Franco did this.
'Cause I think-
Seth Rogen.
Was she the one who was like
listen.
in a bunch of shit? She's like a young kind of like when we watch This Is 40. Is she the
Yeah,
girl?
yeah.
That girl.
She's
Okay, I
she's
remember
that one.
Yeah.
She was one of the reasons Seth Rogen stopped talking to James Franco.
Yeah, dude.
Wild.
The allegation was that he karate chopped at her.
He did. He and then he said, and then
funny.
she didn't know what to do, and he said, "What's wrong? You know, speaky English."
Whoa.
It's crazy. I mean, but
Sometimes you got to double down. It gets weird for a second.
And you know what's crazy? David Cross goes to like Revolution Hall in Portland and just gets people to clap instead of laugh. Like I don't know. That shit's so lame. to me.
it's very
How
funny.
about the
that he
original
does-
Star Trek? Am I right?
Yeah.
He's like a resistance lib. He does like he had the whole special about like how like much he hates Trump, but he's also an N-word sayer in 2025.
That's insane.
You know.
It's the Jimmy Kimmel phenomenon.
It is the Jimmy Kimmel phenomenon. Although I think Jimmy Kimmel is just trying
Jimmy
to
Kimmel's like on a flight to Canada right now, but he also did blackface on cable.
Did you guys see that Donald Trump sat with Trudeau? He got dinner with Justin from Canada, and he fucking threatened to annex Canada. He said, if you're going to keep taking $100 billion from the U.S. a year, then maybe we should make Canada the 51st state. He goes, Prime Minister sounds nice, but I think you'd make a good governor.
Whoa.
I don't hate it. Dude, I don't hate it.
And Trudeau just is like, he did this in front of everybody. Trudeau's just like, yeah, it's fucking, I can't, how can I hide my joy?
Yeah. I don't know. Sometimes you got to check him a little bit. I think Canada needs to get checked a little.
Dude, telling Trudeau that he's going to make you the governor of the 51st state of America is so funny.
No.
Yeah.
I didn't realize that we get that much imported from Canada. They're going to be like hit with the tariffs, apparently.
The maple syrup's going to start getting expensive.
Yeah, I mean, I guess like the tariffs
isn't
are
everything going to get expensive?
Tariffs?
Are on, like,
not necessarily because it's only like three main countries, I think. It's
But
not
all
like,
the electronics, there's some of them where it's like, I'm pretty sure all the electronics are made.
like he's gonna tariff the shit out of like China and stuff,
Yeah.
and it's like China, Canada, and there's some other one, but it's not gonna be like universal
But
tariffs.
most of our products come from China.
Yeah.
So our cost of living is going to go up.
It absolutely
Yeah.
is. It won't kick into like a year or two into the term, but yeah.
Figure about that.
I'm
Leave it.
I'm stocking up.
Shut the fuck up. Let me.
I know.
Let me come to.
I was just I didn't say anything.
You
I was just
toddlered
laughing.
your hair last night.
I
Let
was
me
just-
mess up a word.
I didn't say anything. I'm sorry. Dude, you remember I had a stroke on the podcast and I feel like,
And I could have let that go. I would have recovered.
dude, saying your words in the wrong order is not as bad as just completely
What?
losing your.
Wait, I didn't even catch what happened.
It doesn't matter. Let's move on. Let's keep going.
I'm like, this is a deep. I can tell you guys have like a deep friendship because you pick up on stuff like you're like a married couple.
I also have a thing with Noah where I'm really good at not knowing when he's already like he's mad at me and then fucking with him, or like pushing some kind of boundary when he's already like talking himself out of like hitting me, and then I'll be like poke. So
I would love to. You seem like you're a fun roommate. That you are like the. You're like the Kramer-esque character that like fills out a group of friends, dude. To live with you must be really interesting.
Yeah. He's
I'm
great
like-
most of the time.
I'm Kramer post
I'm in a
Seinfeld.
bad mood.
Yeah.
Oh,
And
I'm
I'm trying to get through it.
do you want to talk about it on the pod?
Yeah, let's get into
let's
it.
fucking-
No, I'm cool. I'm just tired.
I get it, man.
I'm grumpy is what
Yeah.
it is. I got fucking sleep eyes and I had to work all day. I'm cool. I'll fucking move on.
No, I feel like
I'll give it like 5 minutes.
I feel like we should get Noah like a happy ending massage.
It's horrible.
Oh, yeah,
I'm
I
just
mean,
like
you
putting
can't.
my feet on your table as you're telling me how upset you are.
No, dude, I don't care. Spit on
Okay,
the floor.
all right, I'll do that, yeah.
Spit on the floor.
I'll ash on you.
Fucking look, dude. I got shoes and stuff. We'll do it.
It's
No,
like looking at a beer label when you're like, that's the same thing. I got shoes. Wait, are those new?
No, I've had these for so
Ah,
long.
okay.
You asked me if every pair of shoes I have is new.
You keep some hidden. That's why
I
it's
wear
like,
these every day.
It's a nice way to get it. I'm seeing all of Ben's tactics right now. Like when things are uncomfortable, you're like, are those new shoes? Those are nice shoes.
I was about to say, like, literally, that's me asking Noah if everything is okay.
Yeah.
And we've never actually pieced it up, but I'm like, do you want to talk?
Yeah.
But what I say is, are those new?
Yeah.
You know? And then we just... Me and
It's a
Noah,
nice, I'm gonna start using that.
that's
a
male
good-
friendship. We hang on by a thread in proximity to each other. You
Yeah.
know? I just look over, I go, you're barely hanging on? And I'm like, yeah, me too. And then that's...
I'm getting a gun in March.
I encourage his...
Dude.
Yeah, he encourages
next time
my
I'm in this
hobbies.
mood, I'm gonna just walk around the house with it and just fucking. I need a holster.
Well, I think we're gonna spin it on. We're gonna like put it on the table when we podcast.
Yeah,
That's
the
my...
idea.
suck on
I
it.
fantasize about having a gun, not shooting it, just gently placing it on. Like, have you ever seen Legend with Tom Hardy?
Oh yeah.
You know when the guy calls him a puff or whatever the
Yeah.
gay lingo for gay is? Yeah, whatever gay way of saying gay they have, and then Ronnie Cray just goes like,
puts a gun on the table.
"Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
dude.
that's the shit."
I would fucking. Man, if I had a gun, I would. I mean, I would be scared as hell the minute I shot it.
If I had a
Those
gun, I
things
would-
are loud.
I would
you
make
shot a
Tom
gun?
Hardy fuck.
Of course, yeah.
Okay,
but
cool.
they scare me.
I think they're great.
Yeah.
They don't scare me as much as they used to. It scares me when some people hold them, but like me with a gun, I'm overly confident. I'm fine.
Normally when you say this, I
spin in a circle and shoot the whole time. I try to make myself dizzy while I'm shooting.
I'm normally team Noah getting a gun, but something about you being in a bad mood right now. I'm like, I don't know if I would
let him get a gun as long as he doesn't put. If Noah just dry fires a gun, I think like
you don't hear him yelling at Elden Ring. You don't understand the rage this man has buried.
It's in there.
It's fucking in there.
Look, man, it's winter. You got to let. I had this. I had to stop because I live with my girlfril. Well, I guess you do too. But like I was letting the demons out at fucking. I was playing PS5, just losing my mind with the windows open.
It happens, dude. Yeah. People like the deep. I mean, it's in something to do with being disrespected. Is what it is.
Right.
Is like respect me.
Yeah.
Because I'm yelling now.
Yeah.
But they can't hear you. So you're just stuck with your own impotent rage.
Wait, so you're not on like live, like
no.
See, in my head, you're yelling at people, but this is just yelling.
No. This is to myself.
Wow.
Might as well be my reflection.
That's a dangerous.
I had to do the big boy thing, and I got so mad at the game that like I woke up the next morning and I sold the PS5.
Oh yeah,
I can't.
It'd be better if I did that probably.
My version of that is I dropped my weed pipe like down the crack of my bed so I have to like get up and like, it's like really annoying to get stuff that falls back there.
Yeah.
Last night that happened and I was just like, I'm just gonna leave it. I'm gonna leave it down. Yeah, that's me selling the PS5. But then today I like fished it out.
That's more akin to like dropping trash on the floor and being like, I'll pick it up later.
No, but I'm like, well, in my head I was if
not
I can't,
my problem, dude. Honestly,
if I don't have the means with which to smoke this weed, then I shan't. Perhaps I shan't. That was my thought. But then this morning I woke up and I was like, I shall.
Anything that falls out of your hands, you just got to hope that the ants will carry it away, honestly.
Yeah, we need some leaf cutter ants. Let's make this a bioactive terrarium that we live in. And then we could just shit on the floor and roly-polies will eat it.
I've lived in houses like that. I literally lived in a house that was basically just
bioactive.
Bugs and animals just came in and out as they pleased.
Yeah.
We had skunks living in the skunks and raccoons. I had to be careful when I'd walk out the side door, which didn't close all the way. This is my last. I was telling Zach about this place. This is my last place in LA. And it didn't lock, so like some animals could just like push it open. And like, dude, we had a fucking raccoon in the house. Well, there was one day where a homeless person just wandered into our house.
We had that happen at our house in Portland. She took a shower in our shower.
Or she didn't take a shower. She took a shit, didn't flush it, ate an entire bag of hot dog buns in our roommate's bed, and then walked around naked.
That's what, dude. This person just like took like a bag of a box of cereal out of the cabinet and left, and we were in the house.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
It's like when there's wild animals and they're like, these deer aren't afraid of people. They'll just walk right up to you. That's what you get to a point with homeless people where it's like, they're not afraid. They'll just come into your.
I let her nuzzle my hand.
They'll eat your chips. Don't give them chips. Because they'll come eat your chips.
We had one guy who just kept coming and sleeping on our couch, and we were like, "Dude, leave! This is my house."
And I had to like try and go get him off, and then at that moment I was like, I wish I was just a German Shepherd right now, because when you're a human being and there's a homeless guy sleeping on your porch, you have to say words, like you have to say things, but I didn't know what to say. I just wanted to like bark at him, right? If that makes sense. Yeah. Like the only thing I want to communicate is like, hey. On
a primal
level, but I had to be like, say stuff, and then I was like, you can't do that here.
Because the conversation I had with him, it had been happening so long that I was kind of exhausted that I felt like I had to just like level with him. I was like, dude, you gotta like stop, man. Like this is all the time right now. Like
he would also wake up and he would be super like passive aggressive, like he'd hit you with like puppy eyes. You'd be like, yo, you can't sleep here, and then
this is a crazy story.
He'd be like
a homeless guy
repeatedly same guy, and would be like, you can't do this again.
You tolerated this how many times?
Well, at a certain point it's like, what are we gonna do, throw firecrackers at him?
I guess so.
But he would wake up and he'd be like, oh, I'm sorry, I was just I was cold and I just wanted some place to sleep. He would totally gaslight us, dude.
This is it's so funny to talk about this like it's a nuisance, not a serial home invasion.
Yeah.
Oh, well, it was we had a couch on our porch, so it wasn't inside of our house.
Okay.
If it was inside of our house,
it's still crazy.
We would have kept them.
Yeah.
We would have kept them in one of the rooms or closets.
Yeah.
But
Alfred,
we had a guy in our neighborhood who would pull his pants around his ankles and jerk off, but he would always do it with his back turned to you. And if you happen to be walking towards each other on the street on the same side of the sidewalk, he'd move sides of the sidewalk so he wasn't bothering you directly.
See, I actually have to say I respect that because I will tell you one of the things that you don't even consider about being homeless until you're like living in your car. I found out this the hard way. It's now illegal for you to jack off wherever you are, and that's a need.
He was out walking around, so he could have found an alley or something. Walking down the sidewalk in a neighborhood with children, I understand. Okay, I understand where you're coming from.
Please understand the plight of this.
Did you do that?
No.
Okay,
certainly not.
Then would you?
But here's the thing: in the eyes of the law, it's all the same, dude. So it's like if you get caught in an alley, if you get caught on the street, that's public indecency.
But in the eyes of my child, is I think Noah's points.
Sure, for sure. I agree.
Driving after a glass of the law is the same thing as like downing an entire box and like going the wrong way on the freeway. Not exactly, but
you get
you know what I mean.
DUI, yeah.
This guy, you had a glass of wine. You know, you found you had a glass of wine. You touched yourself. You fell asleep easy.
It was a good year.
This guy is straight up
slapping
getting onto the on ramp, driving into the off ramp.
This guy is drinking Long Island iced teas out of a sippy cup. You know, it's a little diff. No, but
it's that drunk driving commercial where the guy opens the door, but instead of beer, just gallons of cum spill out.
Yes. Mothers against cummy drivers.
Oh, man.
There's some girl with a billboard holding it up. It's like, I was sending this text when
These were the last words he ever said.
You up? Fucking you up.
Send pic of ass. Yeah.
The funny thing, the place where I lived in LA is like we would get those guys too. We get like crackheads coming, and this was actually before I lived there. But for a time, like homeless people, we had like a guava tree, so they would like steal like fruit off of it and stuff, and like we had like
they used to migrate through these parts, but now climate change, you don't see them coming through here.
Well, one time there was a homeless guy who was like stealing fruit from like the tree or the bush or whatever, and it turned out to be Andy Dick. Andy Dick was just like wanted. This was like during his. I think he's still in this era. His like. He was like couch surfing and just appearing on like people's streams. Yeah. He was also just like wandering our neighborhood, like sucking guys off for I assume
him.
Crack.
He pulled up to Tiger Belly with like a posse of like. Did you ever see that episode?
No, never.
It's Bobby Lee's podcast if you've never watched it, but he has Andy Dick and Andy Dick shows up like late with like 10 people into his.
I went and saw the Growlers one time. You know the Growlers?
Yeah, the band.
I went and saw them, and they had like this homeless guy come up on stage and open for him, and he started singing "I Was Dancing at the Lesbian Bar," and I was like, "Oh my god, that's Jonathan Richmond!"
Oh, wait, it was really Jonathan?
It was him.
Damn.
It was Jonathan Richmond. Who just did not look great.
Wow.
Yeah,
that's crazy. Me and Noah, that was the first like combo we ever had. Was about the Growlers.
Yeah,
Growlers are a good band.
Yeah.
I was like, I love like.
Whose cock were you sucking? His?
Okay. That's it was another guy. I was
just a little bit. I was trying out, just riffing.
I was hanging out. I was listening to the Growlers while he sucked dick, and just like, damn, this is good.
I was like, you come here too.
It is funny to imagine you guys sucking each other off in the middle of
the street,
the audience at a Growlers show.
Yeah, their music got so much worse right up until they got canceled that it was kind of like, thank God somebody else did this.
Yeah,
they got canceled.
They went out on their shield, as we like to say.
What happened?
They've been doing bad stuff for a long time, like underage girls. Dude, he kicked a woman down a flight. He made a girl show her tits to them for an interview, and then after the interview, kicked her down a flight of stairs.
Now see
and
that?
They all laughed. Just shit like that. Just a ton of stealthing. There was a pretty long list, and apparently
what's stealthing?
Stealthing's where you take the condom off
in the middle.
You're not supposed to do that? I'm just kidding. Damn, dude, that's crazy.
Yeah,
I thought girls did that shit.
Well, girls
poking holes in the condom.
Yeah, I mean that's also
like
yeah,
male
that's also
version
like
of
not
that.
okay.
No, I know. Yeah,
it's not quite. It's not like people want to say that that's the same as
I don't
rape,
think
but
it's to lock her down. I don't think that was the goal.
No, so it feels better.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Because if you got the girl pregnant, you probably also make her.
It's
get an
actually
abortion.
more crazy to do that because it feels better than for a girl to poke holes in the condom.
so that she can like trap you with.
Yeah,
a baby.
because then she's just gonna take your baby and go off somewhere and raise
I
it.
don't-
She
I don't
wants a
know
baby
how-
that
I didn't know
bad.
this was the feminist episode.
You know?
I don't know. I honestly don't know how often that really. I feel like stealthing
I'm a
happens
classic
way
liberal.
more.
I think
Okay.
it does. Yeah, because I don't
The
know.
motivation for stealthing is there.
Yeah,
the motivation for stealthing, but you're potentially ruining her life so that you can come harder. Whereas she's taking your semen so she can have a child that you're not gonna have to. You're just if you didn't know, if you never found out about that she got pregnant and went and had your kid, then you would literally just live your life. You'd just be like, oh yeah, I fucking.
Wait, what, I don't. Let me be okay. Let me be clear, really quick. Both are, but you should do neither.
Yeah.
let me add this little disclaimer. They're you know, be it a
But if I
stone
had
or a
to
grain
pick,
of sand,
no.
they both sink the same.
I think it's more psychopathic to just try and get your nut. And
I don't think.
Yes.
What I'm saying is, I think stealthing happens, but I don't think the poking the hole in the condom thing feels like an urban. I mean, I'm sure that it happens. I've
But,
certainly known women.
I'm sure it happens.
Yeah.
But it's also just like.
There's
Probably not that much, because also you could just be like, "Hey, you want to fuck me without a condom on?"
and
That's
just
true.
say I'm on birth control.
Yeah.
yeah,
That's that easy.
Like
All right.
you don't have to poke holes in it.
Well, you guys just poked holes in my poking holes
Theory. That's right. Well, that's what we're here for.
Now I'm pregnant with your way of seeing it. In about 9 months, I'm gonna be like, "Fuck, they had a good point."
Yeah, man. Oh fuck, I forget what I was saying. But yeah, no, you can't do any of that nonsense. You gotta respect the hell out of a woman. You can't have sex with her till it's your fucking honeymoon, dude.
Yeah.
What are you doing? If you're in a band, you shouldn't be.
That's why you have to be a young.
In defense of the Growlers, they are just doing rock and roll. That is just classic.
But that's why
rock and roll, brother.
that's why you can't
Kicking
do,
your child bride down the stairs after you get her pregnant is some classic Jerry Lee Lewis Sun Records
Yeah.
type
It's
shit.
very Led Zeppelin.
Yeah.
It's very Led Zeppelin when you think about it.
It's called the
But
Motley Crue.
they got canceled super hard, but it kind of came at a good time musically, because their discography was going downhill so quickly that it was like, all right, at least something cut this off before it got too much worse.
Yeah, they died a warrior's death as a band.
Yeah.
Do you know what's so funny? I just realized
I was kidding. That's a joke.
I did the thing again where I've been messing with the volume of the headphones, not the volume of the microphones. But now we're good. I think we're good now.
Good.
I'm gonna try to. Yeah,
These
I'm
are the
still
best
spiking.
headphones.
Sorry, look, guys. This is actually what people want out of a podcast. They want the behind the scenes.
Give the people.
Well, I have no idea. I'll be honest. I have no idea what the hell this thing does.
Something.
I have no idea how to work this. It was given to me. Anyway,
You got it from a Scientologist.
It sounds pretty good.
it
Yeah.
sounds fine. Yeah, my mic's spiking a little bit. You'll all live with it, probably.
Yeah.
Listen, send us money. We'll get a whole. If you just send us a little money, we could have a whole nice studio. It
Yeah.
wouldn't hurt your ears so
Yeah.
much, you know. But yeah, I'm sorry. No, the Growlers. Yes, that does. I didn't know that their music. I think I've only really heard like the early albums. I didn't know that it got that bad.
Yeah, it got. I mean, it was trash at the end, and then they got canceled. And like all the stuff that went down with them also gave like a lot of weird context to their earlier music too. That was just like, wow, this doesn't hold up when you realize like that song "Dog Heart 2" is basically about how like he's an old man who wants to fuck kids. Like that's
1 million
basic.
children to choose from.
Yeah.
But none like her.
It just
That's not the actual lyrics. I just made
yeah, that aged
crazy.
so
Should have
bad.
seen this the whole time.
Damn. I always thought that song was nice.
Yeah.
But it was a weird one.
He also had that Gay Thoughts song that he came out. He came out with the song. The lyrics are about like being gay and struggling with it or whatever. And then like a bunch of like people were like, "This song was great," and it meant so much. I came out to my parents or whatever, and then he was like, "No, I wasn't serious about that."
Yeah,
I was
I
like,
was
"I'm not
kidding.
actually gay, dude. You like that song? You're fucking gay." That's basically what he did.
That's awesome.
Pretty gangster.
That is really.
But that's why you can't be a rock star in your 30s.
I just like this. There's this thing with artists where, like, whether you're like a musician or a filmmaker or anything, there will be this disconnect between like the nuance of the art they make, and then like, but somehow the person is still stupid. This happens
Sure.
so much with musicians where like musicians will create this like transcendent, like beautiful work. The lyrics will speak to you, and then you in an interview you're like, you're an idiot.
You're a
like,
dumb person.
That's like the Jim Morrison thing almost too, because it's like he has all this like poetic fucking this is the end shit, and then you hear people who like have stories about meeting him, and it's like, yeah, he was pissing on people in a bar.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I think
awesome.
what it is like you have, in order to make music, you have to take yourself so seriously and feel like all of your emotions are valid.
Yeah.
So when you're talking to other people, like you just say that shit like it's true instead of like taking other people's perception of you into consideration.
I think
A
that's
great
fair
example of this, and you know about this, is like, I won't say which band, but we were watching what's the one where it's they'll have bands just like playing their instruments outside and they're walking through some urban
Is
area.
it Gems on VHS?
But they
No, it's
what's it called?
Oh fuck. I can't remember what it's called, but, I know what you're talking about.
People will know, but it's like so there's one of them where I think they're in like France or some European country, and they're singing their little song and walking through like a market, and the lead singer grabs an orange because he thinks he's in a music video. Right. In his eyes, he is the main character.
He has to pay for that.
So right, but he grabs the orange, and then they walk like another 50 feet. They're still singing their song, like getting followed with a camera crew, and then you see this like little Greek guy like, hey, and he like runs up and he's like, you have to pay for that. You can't just fucking take. And then you're watching and you're like, oh yeah, you can't just take a guy's fucking orange. He's not here to be in your music video. He's here to sell fruit. And then yeah, I can't believe the band let them keep that in there, because I lost all respect.
That is the delusion of anybody on the come up, though. If you're on this nice video thing, it's like you do believe you'll attain a level of fame where you can do that, where you can just grab it on because it's in service of me. You know, like
yeah.
I think there's also this interesting thing with musicians where it's like, if I don't know, maybe some of them are in therapy, but I feel like a lot of people where there's this like disconnect between their art and then like who they are. It's because like they process themselves by creating,
Sure.
but then like in their day-to-day life they're just all like fucked up and like not like.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of them aren't even that fucked up. They're just justifying their fucked up behavior and like and their creations with convincing themselves that they are more fucked up than the normal person.
Right. Yeah.
And so they basically excuse themselves of growing up with the idea that like acting a certain way means what you create is more valid, because
Panning.
that's the narrative that everybody has been taught. It's like, oh, fucking dark poet musician guy he's an asshole. Like it's just like,
Yeah, it's like, all right, Jack Sparrow.
you know,
She's 14.
yeah,
Chill.
dude. Like, you can't just like fuck a kid because that's what rock stars do, and it makes your music good. Like, it's not all the same thing.
It does do both those things.
Your music can be good, and you can fuck 14-year-olds, and those are mutually exclusive things.
It's just a coincidence.
But people are like, I heard somebody talking about like Justin Roiland. Like somebody was like,
yeah, dude.
That was no
justifying.
surprise.
It's
to me.
like, dude, you can't, like, you got to understand, like, a guy like that who's able to create on that level. He's got to have
don't
something
understand, this
wrong
guy
with
can
his
do it.
brain
From what
that
I've-
makes society not. He doesn't conform to society. It's like, no, he made an okay cartoon, but also just tried to fuck kids. Those are not the same.
and also
the fucking kids does not make the cartoon.
Some of his DMs are like greater works of art than anything on Rick and Morty. Have you seen? There was one where he was DMing a girl in like Chinese voice, and she stopped responding to him, and he just goes, "Oh, it's so Raid, and I'm so Chinese." I'm like, I like him again.
Yeah.
This is the funniest thing.
yeah.
The funny thing about Justin Roiland is, like, from what I understand, is like he was like also just a total slut. He would just like show up, record the lines. He like wasn't really like he wasn't
didn't care. He had nothing to do with it, pretty much.
He didn't really like write any. That was all like Dan Harmon.
Yeah.
you know?
He was just a guy who did it. He could do a squeaky voice and a drunk guy voice.
Yeah.
So, you know.
And you can tell because the newer seasons are not worse without him.
Yeah.
You know?
I never liked it that much, to be totally honest.
I think it's fine.
It got gay really quickly. Like the fan base As soon as Rick and Morty socks became like a thing, like prevalent, I was like, oh, okay, I can't.
The funny thing is Mexican guys love Rick and Morty. I'm like, what about this show could possibly speak to the East Los Angeles experience? But
Rick and Morty,
Cholas and Cholos they ride hard for Rick. Well, Rick Sanchez. There you go. Maybe that's
true.
They're like, hey, he's like me, dude.
Yeah,
Uncle Rick. That's my last name.
Well, it's also because if you mute it and line it up with the Smiths album, it fucking plays like Wizard of Oz.
Yeah, that's I never super got into that show, but he's an interesting guy. I had a friend who actually went over to his house.
Oh, really?
Apparently he was just was a drunken fool.
Mm-hmm.
Sure. This was like after the first couple seasons, and
he was more Rick than Morty.
I mean, neither, because like he wasn't even like a productive guy. He was just like he's like obsessed with like VR. He has all these VR. Like, this is what my friend told me. He's got all these VR rigs, and he would just draw them doodles and like get in VR. You get the sense that this guy is just like
out of touch.
Just like staving off like the dread that his life must probably bring him.
Yep. Well,
that's the scariest thing to me is to be rich, but like you can't like that guy's never gonna have like.
How do you stave off the dread?
I'm trying. I'm getting up in the morning and stretching.
That's good.
I'm trying
to start figuring out healthier ways to stave. I'm trying to figure out healthier stave strategies.
I saw that treadmill.
Yeah.
That's nice.
We're all staving here.
You know what? If we get 2 more of those, we might start podcasting. Because the conversations
mobile
are good,
podcast.
If you walk and talk, they're incredible conversations.
Zach, you got to do push-ups the whole time.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
We're going to put a GoPro on Zach's head. The whole podcast is going to be bobbing up
I'd
and
rather
down.
kill myself.
No,
dude.
the 3 of us will be on treadmills walking, and then we'll have Zach on an incline sprinting the whole time.
That because you need to work for your place in this podcast.
Zach,
right?
how do you stave off the dread? What's your...
I play San Andreas.
Nice. Solid.
I play
Just take it out on a homeless guy. Yeah.
That's what I do.
That's a
Zach blew my mind.
hack.
I didn't know. I never played San Andreas this far. He's like, yeah, I just got to Las Vegas and San Andreas. I was like, you what?
Yeah, dude.
Las Vegas is insane. I had no idea.
San Francisco too.
Yeah, if you stave long enough, you find a new reason to fucking to live. Metaphorically speaking, we all find Las Vegas and San Andreas someday. I'm looking for my Vegas. What about you, Noah?
What do I do? I do just drinking tea and burning incense.
Drinking tea, burning incense.
You found your thing fucking a month ago.
It works so well, and I read about it online. Apparently, it lowers your cortisol levels to burn incense like directly in your face. And
it smells like a 7-Eleven in our apartment. But
I've been reading, and it's just good shit.
What are you reading?
I can't remember. It's a Carl Jung, and I can't remember the name of the book because if I scroll back up to the top, I'll lose my place. It's on a PDF, so I can't check the title.
And I was like, I've been doing great. I've been reading, and it's like, what are you reading? And it's like, discovering your shadow. It's beyond good and evil.
It's The Unknown Self or whatever. It's the short one, but I'm reading it like 10 pages at a time. Just
I read Harry Potter when I
don't want to go too deep with it or anything. Right. But he's a little more like teenager, like fuck society than I thought he was gonna be.
Who, Young?
Young, yeah.
Yeah, but I'm gonna read the Red Book next. Just because I don't know. I feel like it's good to get a little
Mein
spooky.
Kampf?
No, The Red Book by Carl Jung.
Oh, I thought it was like Code.
Which also is incredibly anti-Semitic. And
really?
Yeah, it's just about how anti-Semitism comes from really deep within. You gotta search for it.
I think there is something biological about humans that kind of hates Jews.
I mean, even let's not.
Well, apparently Jung was also actually kind of anti-Semitic, and that might be one of the reasons him and Freud stopped getting along was his distrust.
Really?
I mean, Freud was also nuts.
Yeah, I read the dream. What was his book on dreams?
The archetypes of something?
No.
Freud's book?
Freud's book on dreams.
My Mother and I.
I read it in like high school, and I was like, and it's weird because you forget. Psychology is not science at all.
It's like people insist it's like a pseudoscience.
Yeah.
Honestly,
it's honestly like it's close to like witchcraft or like trying to see the future. It's the same kind of talk. It's crazy. What are you doing? Fucking put your shirt on.
I didn't mean for it. I didn't mean that.
Fucking like, chill, dude.
That's why I'm a little wary of like how much people like worship like therapists and psychologists now, because like technically like none of it's proven. Not really. Not like beyond a reasonable doubt.
Well,
like,
I think of course it helps. Self-discovery always helps.
Babe,
like that is
babe, none of this is proven. All right, psychology isn't even gaslighting. Someone just made that shit up. Stop using these pop psychology words.
But truly, like none of it is technically a pseudoscience. Like there's no like.
Well, I mean, like you listen to this shit talk, and like Jung was super into like alchemy and like Aleister Crowley and shit, and like and just applying those ideas. But like if you read it too, it's also like really born out of things like existentialism and subjective truth. So it's like. It's not really wrong.
I know, but I'm like, just read a philosophy book as well. I think the philosophers are like strike way closer to like, I don't know, the heart of truth than like, I think psychologists are a little. Truthfully, I'm quite wary of psychologists, and I think we should expel them from society. I think therapists have like ruined people. Like I think like because it's so dependent on like which one you get, what school of thought they come from.
Sure.
Therapists are insane. How are you gonna help me with? You also have a brain, bitch. You're gonna act like you're outside of the brain. You are a brain.
Yeah.
You think you know about my brain?
Anyone could just lie and say like, you're right. Yeah, you're right to feel that way.
Well, because I mean, I've seen therapists who like enable bad habits. I have watched friends go to therapy and like get worse, and I'm like, I think you just need to like go. Maybe you should go to like
turn people
but
on
I
their
kind of
parents.
like that because it's just what you believe. It's magic tricks.
Yeah,
that's what they're doing. Is they're showing you card tricks inside of your own brain.
Yeah, but they're charging,
and you're like, holy shit, that is my thing.
But it would suck if you're like, fuck, my insurance doesn't cover this oracle reading.
That's what I'm saying. Is they're so expensive.
Yeah,
they're so expensive, and I'm like, I think you could get here on your own if you just
it's a grift.
Tried a little hard to go inwards.
Self-medicate, self-harm, take it out on
others. Listen, if you
young alienated men listening to this,
get
take
a
notes.
blue-collar job.
Yep.
Never get married.
Yep.
Yell at Elden Ring.
If you're not cutting yourself in 2025, if you're not a 33-year-old man cutting himself and burning your fingertips in 2025, you are a fucking loser, and no woman will want to be with you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't go to therapy. I stand with my hand over the stove like Taxi Driver. I just watch the news for 24 hours straight.
It's so funny how, like, I didn't understand, like, when I was a kid, like, I love Taxi Driver because it was the exact, like, diet. And when I was at my healthiest, like, the way he's eating and working out, which is so counterproductive, but he also just has like a 23-year-old guy's metabolism.
Yeah.
Because he's eating like bread with sugar on it, and then he's like just girls.
I eat like Taxi Driver and never exercise. Yeah. That's my day to day. Is I eat bread with shredded cheese on it.
I think like Taxi Driver.
If you can pull it off, it's a nice look. Travis Bickle looked nice. He would have got pussy. He actually was so close to getting pussy. And he would get pussy in 2025 because if you take a girl to your goon cave, they're doing that too. Taxi Driver, what he needed was a brain rot Twitter girlfriend. There would have been no problem.
If Travis Bickle had Field, the app.
Yeah, he would have done great. Honestly, I think going to a porn theater for a date would be super fun and funny.
Yeah.
I think that'd be so goofy.
He'd be a hipster now.
Yeah.
And ridiculous.
It would be amazing. I'm in.
Well, no one asked me how I'm staving, by the way, and it hurt my feelings a little bit.
How do you stave?
I've been jacking off a lot.
Okay, yeah. Cool. That'll actually, that's not.
It's not Jung, all right, but it works for me.
It's not a long-term solution. You're gonna pull yourself deeper into the depths of despair.
Are you? You're unking me right now.
I guess.
Peep gang, hey, peep gang, young blood. Be careful, all right. Those waters is deep.
Don't do that, brother man.
Don't do that now.
You got to be careful. You start jacking.
Listen to somebody who's been there, all right?
You'll find yourself jacking off to all manner of nonsense, young blood.
Yeah.
We know how it starts. It starts out with you gooning, then you got 3 screens up, then before you know it, you watching Sissy Hypno.
Before you know it, it hurts to pee every time.
Before you know it, you find yourself checking out Young Man on the Street, man. Now you sweet.
Yeah.
Now you what we call sweet.
Yeah, basically that's it. So jacking off a lot and talking like a black guy is how I
You gotta
stay.
be careful. Talking like a black guy will actually, if we were allowed to do it, depression wouldn't exist. If we were allowed to just walk around and be like, how's it going, cuz?
They find out it slows aging. your telomeres
that's what
are
Jeff
longer.
Bezos is doing in like a padlocked room.
Yeah. It's the Robert Downey Jr.
What it is.
method.
I call it Amazon.
I'm a guy.
It's a
That's
jungle
why
of
Elon
things
Musk
you need.
is trying to get to the Mars. Is he's trying to find somewhere where nobody else is around.
Yeah.
So he can go do black scent on the moon.
Dude,
CEOs
imagine-
doing black scent is nice. I
Imagine
like
Mars
that.
Twitter, dude.
Yeah.
That's gonna be crazy.
What are you talking
Think about how
about?
racist people could be if the people they're talking about are on a different planet.
Right.
Like, talk about othering. Am I right? Am I right, guys? Yeah.
Now, what I got is it's a car. Listen to this. Wrap your mind around this. Number one, we named it after Tesla. You know who Tesla was? Let me educate you on this. Tesla was Edison. Ain't shit. Anyway, sorry.
Nah. See, unlike you, I wasn't born in this crater. All
Nikola
right?
it's called a Faraday cage, young blood. Wait, did he do the Faraday cage? What did he? No, he did the. What did Tesla do?
Nikola Tesla.
No, he did a lot. There's one specific. Yeah, Nikola Tesla. What
He invented like electricity for all. Didn't he electrocute elephants, or was that Edison?
It was Wi-Fi in 1835.
Yeah.
I don't know if he
That was Edison, I think.
That was Edison.
He literally he created like free energy, right? Like Tesla.
He
was
created electrocuting elephants, dude. He was like the pioneer of fucking.
You know who else does that? Hillary Clinton.
Yeah.
She just goes out of the.
They don't film it,
Dude,
but
I just rewatched the
Sudan.
footage of Hillary getting thrown into the van like she's
So
a.
sick.
It's so sick. What is there's this clip of Hillary Clinton. It looks like she's fainting, and then like the Secret Service agents just like surround her, cover her up, but you can see them chuck her into the back of this van like she's like dead weight.
Log.
Dude, everyone was saying like her suit, she's got a cybernetic suit that keeps her. The pantsuit actually has life support systems built into it.
that's her like Incredibles uniform.
Basically, you never see her out of that pantsuit. That's because it's keeping her cryogenically preserved and keeping her heart pumping.
You know what's funny? Did you ever see Harry Potter 5? You know, with the evil.
That's the bad Harry Potter.
The one where the evil lady comes in and takes over Hogwarts.
That's
Umbridge, the fat
Umbridge.
lady.
That's the wait, that's the one with the tournament?
That's
No,
4.
that's the fourth.
That's what's the one with, 5 is I don't know what 5 is.
5 is the one with the Umbridge lady comes in and she BDSMs Harry in the detention room.
Shit, I gotta watch this movie.
But at the end, the way it ends is she gets just like gangbanged by centaurs in the fucking dark forest.
I do remember that.
That's how I feel
Yeah.
like Hillary should have gone out. After she lost to Trump, I feel like they should have watched centaurs carry her into
Carry
the
her off.
distance.
But we don't have centaurs, so they would have just thrown her into stampeding horses.
Yeah, exactly.
Hillary should have got fucked by horses, I think, probably. That would have been nice.
Yeah.
That would have probably brought the country together.
Yeah.
Don't you think?
Catherine the Great, that's what they call that one.
We didn't need to elect Trump. We just needed to punish Hillary. We could have just done a presidentless 4 years.
Yeah.
Neither of them.
Yep.
No, I love Hillary Clinton. I wish she was president. I like her. She's nice, dude. She's hot.
Really?
You'd
You'd fuck Hillary?
I would fuck Hillary Clinton, dude. I would spew all over her sloppy tits. It would be nice.
Yeah.
I'd just shake her hand. I would just salute her.
She makes you call her Monica while she sucks your dick.
I love the way you killed those soldiers in Benghazi, Madam President.
Yeah. Damn, dude, Hillary. I feel like she low-key wanted it from Trump. You could see there's videos of her and him debating.
Oh, yeah.
And then like they're like say something nice about each other, and then he says something like nice about her, and then she's like, "Fuck, dude, I see it."
Yeah.
You could see her.
I mean, that was a class. That debate was a classic mating dance in the round. They
Yeah.
were circling, dude.
that was like those birds of paradise with the like.
It was powerful. It was primal negging, basically, on the world stage. That's actually what is hotter than a man beating you in the race for the presidency? You have to fuck that guy.
Yeah. This man spit game his way to the presidency.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
pretty nice.
That presidential riz.
Yeah, I wish I could. If I had more opportunities to intellectually dominate women in debates, my body count would have been in the triple digits. Unfortunately,
I think you'd be good at it.
There's rarely a forum where you're allowed to do this. But
Like my
where it's
opponent
sanctioned.
just quoted. My opponent just misquoted famous philosopher Kierkegaard or whatever. I feel like that's it.
No, I'd school him on like Sega Saturn facts.
See, dude, I don't even know. What's Sega Saturn?
Sega Saturn was the console in between the Genesis and the Dreamcast. It was considered a failure,
Damn,
but
dude.
Yeah, your body count would have been so high. You would have fucked so much, dude.
I'm wet right now.
Let me tell you, in a just world, yeah, in my reality,
I'm just thinking of that story you had where you're like,
when I'm a
you have
billionaire?
this translation of The Stranger?
literally,
That guy.
That's me.
That guy could have been president.
That's me. I have never been able to escape those tendencies that I have, where I'm just like, honey.
Do you know what it
no.
is? I think it's because in
I
everybody.
try to like Bill Maher the pussy. You know what I mean?
Okay, people. Oh, really? You're dry. Like this is the first. No.
New rule. I'm hard.
New rule: clean it before I eat it. Okay. New rule: squirt. Who wants it? Okay.
Yeah.
This is about my nut.
You know what's crazy? He Ben, you are a funny guy.
New rule: we have to do anal. If you shit on me, I will never speak to you.
I know people who like. Well, this is another story. It's not really mine to tell, but he's a freak sexually. He's a freak. He's into
Who, Bill Maher?
He's into like granddad play.
Yeah.
He's crazy.
Wow.
He's let some of this slip on Club Random. He's like told stories and then be like, "Oh, it happened to someone else." And it's like,
Also,
you're
Club
talking
Random
about
sounds
you.
like a 4chan message, like a chat room.
Every time he has a woman, he'll get like he'll like invite like 18-year-old like actresses to Club Random. He's like, "What? You want some weed? You want a drink?"
Like the Haktua girl.
Like
Yeah.
and then he gets like in an hour he has like 4 drinks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's like,
And he's like, listen, people our age, younger people don't get it. He's talking to a 14-year-old girl. He's like, people in our generation, we're different.
he had Bella Thorne on there who's like sober. Have you said so great?
so bad.
At some point, midway through the interview, she's saying something. He just reaches over, he grabs her hand, and he goes, "Do you know that people sexually lionize you?"
Whoa, jeez.
It's incredible.
Dude.
That's like a
That's like-
Thanksgiving. That's like like something that an uncle says at Thanksgiving. That's like, you know what I mean? Like, it's not something you'd expect famous people to at least be creepy in a creative way.
It's like you're filming this, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah.
At one point,
Yeah.
she starts like crying and stuff. It's
Wow.
insane.
And he
Really?
goes because she's talking about like trauma.
New rule.
He goes,
no
he
more
goes,
tears on the show.
He goes, "Oh, don't you think everyone? So your generation just says everything is traumatized." She goes, "Well, you know, my father died, and I'm dealing with that." It's so funny.
Yeah, dude. Bill Maher, he happens to sit in a place in the like I don't know, like a lot of times he's the one saying shit that needs to be said, but just as
No,
a
I don't
guy-
agree. I have to hard disagree with you there. But go
Well,
on.
remember you're talking to a classic liberal.
You are
okay?
a classical. I forgot that you're in.
Now that Zach's mic'd up, I can hear his just dismay when I say things. He's like, oh.
Zach's a little DSA socialist, dude.
Yeah,
He's a communist, man.
Yeah.
Zach is
A little bit.
one of the Reds, man.
Yeah, for sure.
So you gotta be.
Yeah.
You guys are actually like.
I get it. Yeah, dude. I read Marx in high school.
I
Read the
listened to
Gulag
Chapo in high
Archipelago
school.
and then talk to me.
Zach is convinced I think I am probably leftist. But
Yeah,
Zach,
no, you're left wing, 100%. Yeah.
Yeah.
Here's the thing: is so am
I-
I. I just lived in Portland, Oregon for 8 years, and
Yeah.
I'm too much.
Yeah.
Same. I lived in Los Angeles.
I was like, I honestly, it's like when you agree with somebody, but it's like the Rick and Morty thing. At first, I was like, I like this show, but now there's like, there's weird fucking fat dudes with stickers on their phones and Rick
Yeah.
and Morty socks. That's how I feel with like, liberal ideology. I was like, yeah,
Or
I think
seizing
we're
the
all
means of
equal.
production, you
Yeah,
know.
but it's
like
like-
that's a good idea.
Yeah.
Like we should do that.
Yeah.
But then like you got to put on like cat ears and put a tail butt
Exactly.
plug in to
Yeah.
do it now.
It's
Yeah.
I love whenever I see people with like they're like proud member of the Socialist Rifle Association. It's like, congratulations, you're on a list. The FBI knows where you live. You're
Yeah.
a fucking idiot. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I believe all that stuff, but also I'm in the closet about it. You know,
Yeah.
like
It's
like
silly.
I want to kill millionaires and all that billionaires. Billionaires.
No,
I don't think billionaires should exist.
I agree.
at all.
I agree. That's a
I don't
leftist
think a
viewpoint.
billionaire. I think the idea of a billionaire is fucking insane. But when I'm talking into a microphone where people can hear it, I'm going to say Trump is funny and that I like watching Tucker Carlson talk about Zins
Well,
because that's less hard to say, You know,
I'm a centrist. I think we should kill millionaires. I let the billionaires play, dude. The billionaires can do their thing, man. Millionaires gotta go.
millionaires should be gone.
If you own a home, you gotta go, dude.
We need one billionaire, but he's got to be like an eccentric guy who lives in a big castle, and we put him in striped pants, and he's gotta walk around with a cane.
I think we should take a playbook from like the Saudi Arabians. I think if you have $1 million or more, you have to have a big cat living in your house.
Yes.
And then if you survive, if you can tame the cat, if you can tame the tiger, hand raise it, get it to not fuck you up, then you
keep your
earn
wealth.
your richness. Yeah.
Arabs
It means
really,
you have the king's blood.
Saudis and Arabs, they're the only people who really know how to be rich.
Exactly.
They're rich in exactly.
Well, you
the
need
right
a
way,
desert
dude.
to really lean into being rich.
But I mean, just like cruising around in like convertibles with golden AK-47s
And a cheetah.
They also like apparently like they're like single-handedly like saving the gaming industry. Like a lot of these like companies that were gonna go bankrupt. I think like Tencent is the one where it's funded by like Saudi Arabia, and they like now produce a bunch of like Japanese games. And I'm like, thank you, Arabs, dude.
Yeah.
I do think it is hilarious that Vice News got like they were on that like weird Hunter S. Thompson like trajectory, and then all of a sudden they got bought by Saudi Arabian oil companies and got turned into kind of like an ISIS shill. That is the funniest thing.
I mean,
ISIS
rocks.
Yeah.
I also like. Well, I'm not so much. I like Al Qaeda more. I kind of sorry the Taliban. I fuck heavily with the Taliban. The other guys I'm out of, but the Taliban I kind of like what they're up to.
Have you heard
the monkey bars guy? I like the monkey bars. That's cool.
Yeah.
I can relate.
Have you heard that the Taliban guys are all depressed now because they won? They got their country. Now they all have to get day jobs as the Taliban.
Hard times create hard men.
Nobody thinks about the end goal of a revolution, which is that things will go back to normal.
Yeah. Hard times create hard men. Soft times create lazy terrorists.
You're doing this all wrong.
I don't know. But
Hard times create strong men.
Strong times create good times.
No. Good times create weak men. Weak men create hard times.
It's hard times create strong men. Strong men create good times.
Good times
create weak men. And then the Taliban.
Yes. We do have a combined IQ of 95. If we work together, man, we can figure out famous. No, I fuck the Taliban, ISIS, all those guys are cool. They have bang. If you listen to their songs are so good. Some of the prayers and chants are like fucking. I have that shit on my iPod.
Yeah.
No one can really wail like a jihadist. You know.
And they make good movies.
You're
They're
just
good
listening to
cinematography.
Taliban chants, thinking like, you know what? I'm a centrist. Politically, I fall somewhere in the middle. I think.
I don't know if I've said this on the podcast, but we used to just like pull up like Taliban like execution videos in the first place I lived in, Los Angeles. And the thing that's crazy about them is like the people who are like joining up to these like extremist groups, a lot of them are like coming from like they're like kids who are like radicalized in college, so they have like film degrees and stuff. So it looks like a Michael Bay production. Mm-hmm. There was this one video we were watching.
Fuck, dude, what am I doing?
I know, you got to go over there, dude. We're watching they're going to execute this guy. I think he's a journalist or a prisoner of war. But the lead up to it is incredible. They have these incredible like well lit shots of like jihadists like running down a hallway set to like a score.
You hear a white voice off camera like, "We're losing daylight."
But it is beautiful, and then they get to the end where it's like it looks so beautiful and so professional that you forget they're actually going to kill somebody. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And then you're like maybe they won't, and then you're like, oh, they shoot his head with an anti-air gun. You're like, oh my god, dude.
Oh shit!
And it looks beautiful.
Yeah, that's called pay up.
They've got a diverse lineup like those fucking military recruitment videos. Yeah. They're like, yeah, we have black women in ISIS now. Yeah. It's crazy.
You see that? What's that Asian girl who canceled Seth Rogen or whatever?
It's Charlene.
She shows up.
She's
with a machete.
Face paint. She's got face paint on and a fucking AK.
This new A24 beheading. No.
It looks like an A24. The ISIS videos are solid. I'd recommend them. It's the same way. It's the same way where you're like, all right, sure, it's dicey, but you got to watch Birth of a Nation.
I don't know how to Google ISIS recruitment videos. I don't know how to find that.
Just Google it.
But
you just gotta puff your chest out and Google that shit, dude.
Yeah.
No, I
Google it with your chest.
Yeah. Google with your chest.
You gotta really mean it.
I think it'd be funny if you started a YouTube channel with essays critiquing like ISIS videos. Be like, why ISIS has already seen its zenith or whatever. Yeah. You know,
I do. I have the attitude on the ISIS beheading videos that he was like Leni Riefenstahl films, where it's like, yeah, she was a Nazi, but the editing.
Yeah.
You know. Arabs are.
Whenever you see a video and it's a bunch of dudes in like those white tan guys in the white gowns with the tablecloth things on their head. You know, the checkered white and red.
Yeah.
Those guys, I've never seen a video of them not having what appears to be the best time.
They're having the greatest time, dude. There's no women around.
Yeah.
They're just allowed to have fun.
Yeah, but then there'll be like one white woman reporter who's there. Have you seen the video of she's talking to the guys and she's like, how many kids do you have? He's like, 11. And she's like, 11? He's like, yeah, always working, never stopping. And he just laughs like super hard. And it's like, fuck, dude, I would trust him around my children.
We love these people. This is my feeling with the Taliban, Al Qaeda, ISIS, all these terrorist groups. Is that it's the same thing where it's like, you know, in the first Avengers movie, Loki is the villain, right?
Yeah.
But after like 4 or 5 movies, you're like, well, he's part of the. We like this guy. He's been around long enough that we're having a good time. I'm excited to see him.
Let's give ISIS a Disney Plus show. let's get them.
Yeah,
fucking
Dubai, more like the best.
The best.
Make Dubai the best again.
We the best.
Yeah.
We the best music.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's
Should we just move to the Middle East? We make one of those like virtue signaling tweets like, I don't know if I can live in this country anymore. I'm moving to Afghanistan.
we go to Afghanistan. That would be honestly sick, dude.
Yeah.
To just like show up in Kabul.
There's a power vacuum right now, dude. They don't know what to do.
Power vacuums are nice. The nice thing about a power vacuum is you know that the kindest, gentlest people will take power.
Yeah.
And those kind, you know.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Who here among us is the most benevolent?
Yeah. I love when a benevolent leader is just rises to power, spontaneously.
Mm-hmm.
I wish it would happen more often. Sadly, it's not the way of the world, man. No, I believe but I believe we'll have peace in the Middle East. It's coming very soon.
What do you know that we don't?
We just have to hope for these things.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It is crazy though, because we've our whole lives the Middle East has been this kind of crazy. Like, what are they doing over there?
Yeah.
It seems crazy. And then you look up and it's like Iran in like the 70s.
It's nice.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
the women were beautiful.
Yeah, they had like
we love Iranian women.
They had like
from-
tongue piercings and shit. And
Yeah,
like,
dude, there was like a cool metal scene in Iran.
Yeah.
Like there was Iran goated, dude.
Yeah.
The Middle East used to be so cool.
Yeah.
It used to be awesome.
Yeah, dude.
And you know they're basically white
what
people.
happened? What happened, guys?
On the census, they're white, you know.
Yeah.
That is it's crazy. Like we became so racist towards the Middle East. It's nuts.
Yeah.
So we've become so
Shouldn't
racist
have done
towards
what
them.
they did.
Yeah.
Well, when we start getting into who they is.
Well,
I know. I know what happened.
I also I think what's funny, and when we talk about like living in Portland for 8 years, like made me forget that I actually am like like it's shit like seeing like super like liberal like young women talking about like radical Islam and shit and jumping on people for like Islamophobia, and it's like, okay, but like you don't like Christianity and like oppressive religion, right? This is like people like
I agree.
think you're literally like less than them, like less than a full human.
I mean, there are some completely reasonable Muslims.
Yeah.
Oh,
Like, yeah. Like, but no, it does piss me off too when people like.
Well, at the time, like Orthodox Jews are super misogynistic too. So it's like Orthodox anything.
Orthodox Jews almost indistinguishable from radical Muslims. I mean, they're not killing. Well,
Yeah.
actually, they are killing.
Yeah.
They are actually quite often killing their disobedient wives. You know, but that's why it's so funny to me that like. That's why I think it's funny when people go so hard against Christianity, but I'm like, yeah, man, like this is not that different from like the religions you defend.
Right.
It's got some nice stuff in there.
Yeah.
I'm trying to do all of it. I want to get in on every religion, dude.
Yeah.
I
want
want
to be Orthodox everything.
Dude, fucking the thing. All right, so I knew some people in high school who like read the Bhagavad Gita, the central text to Hinduism, and they were like super proud of themselves and shit. I tried reading like the first page of it, and I was like, dude, there's no way anybody I know who has ever read this. It makes no sense.
Basically Percy Jackson, right?
Well, I mean, it's just a guy talking about chariots for like a long time. And saying like it's like this name had a chariot and this name had a chariot.
It's like
Pahlavi had a chariot and Gandhi had a chariot.
Yeah.
And
There's like I was learning a little about like Taoism. My girlfriend is Taiwanese, and we were playing a Taiwanese video game, a horror game called it's a good game, Detention. If you get it on Switch, it's a nice game. I'll recommend it. But like Taoism and like all the various like I'm gonna forget the name of the there are all these like various afterlives in Taoism.
Okay.
And some of them are like you have to like discipline yourself to like different levels. But there's one afterlife that's just like it's if you want to be guaranteed life in like an afterlife, there's this one really simple one. You just have to like repeat this simple phrase. Mm-hmm. It's like
kill a virgin every year.
No, it's just it's interesting. The idea of like tiered afterlives and there being one like this like salvation for like even if like you're at the end of your life and you don't have time to discipline yourself and like learn about all this shit, you be saved. Like we've got sure. a nice one for you.
Yeah.
Sure. And like it'll be nice compared to Earth. It's not going to be as nice as like the highest ones. But like like something about that. I was like, oh,
I like
a
Hinduism.
nice belief system.
I like paganism in general because I like the idea of but like the original religious idea was that if it makes a lot of sense if you think about it like. The world is a fucked up and horrible place, especially thousands of years ago. It's like the world is a cruel, unkind, unfair place that's kind of trying to kill you and kill your kids and all this stuff. So when you conceptualize the people who are governing it, why would you think of them as being a benevolent creator? Like we have this paradox in like Christianity and stuff where it's like, oh, if God is like good and kind and loves all of us, then where was he for the Holocaust? But it's like, if you're a Hindu, you're like, well, he probably fucking played a part in that shit. Yeah. Or if like, it's like their gods make sense. They're like, yeah, the fucking gods were angry. They're dicks. You know, we have to sacrifice shit to keep them chill. Like that was the idea of, it wasn't like you're the pinnacle of morality. It was that, obviously, if nature is fucked up and the world is fucked up, then the people who created it are also fucked up, and that makes a lot more sense.
There's a great Hampton Yount joke that's this exactly where he's like, I'm
open for him.
Oh, he's from DC. Yeah. He's very funny.
It's crazy.
Well, he's got a great joke about the like the Greek gods. Mm-hmm. There he goes. They just make the most sense to me, because it's like like they're the god. That's obviously who's up there. Like when you got a guy screaming, "What kind of god would give my son cancer?" He's like Zeus.
Yeah, that's exactly.
He loves that shit.
Yeah. God fucked my wife. God literally turned into an eagle and fucked my wife.
I like that you used to be able to kill the old gods. The old gods were like, if you could just climb a mountain, you might be able to fucking get one in on them.
Imagine if God came and fucked your wife, and then now you have to you have a stepson that's a demigod. Oh my God, I'd be pissed.
That would be crazy. That would be horrible. That'd be worse than like any stepson.
Yeah,
that's the worst possible stepson. Is a stepson with powers.
Right. Exactly, dude.
It's terrible, man.
Fucking. Just trying to fuck your mom. Stop stabbing me with a trident.
It's like you see all these like racist people on Twitter now, where it's like whenever there's like a girl on Tinder and she's got like mixed children, like these racists just like brigade her, dude. But imagine if you were a single girl on Tinder and all of your children are half God. Yeah, that's not good, man. Yeah. You're not gonna get any matches.
Yeah, I can't berate anyone anymore. I'm shadow banned. No, I'm just kidding.
Shadow ban?
I was pretending I was one of the racist people.
I felt I was. Oh, I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
No. They won't be shadow banning you. You'll be getting money if you're racist on Twitter now. You're making like $20,000 a month.
Yeah.
I have to get off Twitter because it's so racist.
It's fucking crazy. They think that
black pill points.
Twitter is responsible for the race riots in England right now.
I believe it, dude.
Twitter. What?
I don't follow any conservative accounts. I don't despite what you might think, I don't follow
constant. Just like not even dude, and wokeness
fucking
or
libs
like
of TikTok.
Yeah. And then it's like an OnlyFans ad, and then you're like, this feels apocalyptic.
It is.
Or shit like Canada is ours is a Twitter that just shows up. I'm not Canadian or racist, and it shows up.
Also, can we just talk about the fucking like the Canadian version of that like nationalistic kind of racist? It's like
it's so funny,
dude. It sucks. That sucks. To be that kind of guy and just to have such a gay country to have to identify with.
The Queen is on your money, dude.
Yeah, like you have to fucking get all angry and then sing "Oh Canada."
Canada is. The one thing Trump is right about is Canada is gay, dude.
Yeah, dude.
Canada sucks.
You fucking speak French, dude. Shut up.
I cannot
wear
wait.
a sweater.
I can't wait until they're the 51st and largest state in the union.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude. Like Twitter is like it's freaky because it was like it was kind of fun at first where it's like this is crazy, but it's everything. It is literally people just doing like like old school like phrenology on like like pictures of like black people. I'm like, what the fuck is this?
You can't open Twitter on the bus anymore.
Yeah.
Like you can't have it open because like if somebody sees it over your shoulder, like
it's like, is that guy looking at a picture of calipers right now, dude? People haven't used those in like 100 years. Isn't there an app on your phone you can measure someone's nose with?
I think people on Twitter
that's going to be an app now.
Measuring
facial scan to get on the bus. You're going to have to like turn to your side.
Yeah. That's
Juice scanner, patent, Shark Tank. Here I come.
You want to make a juice scanner?
Yeah.
A juice scanner would be nice.
Dude, yeah.
A juice scanner. What would I use my juice scanner for? I have such good you can always.
I mean, there is the one thing.
You can always tell.
Ben's like, damn it, I made this thing. Now it keeps locking me out of my own phone.
It's my Oppenheimer moment. I have become death. Destroyer of worlds. Dude, imagine how many millions the Nazis could have gotten if they had just had a more efficient filtering mechanism, you know?
Yes, you're right. Well, what do you mean? How many millions they could have gotten?
If instead of instead of analog,
instead of only 200,000, no, sorry.
No. Oh, let's go there. Yeah.
No, I've seen that.
It might have been 6 million
so much
if they had an app.
200,000 is like the specific number that like Holocaust deniers agree on. They're like,
that's your dog whistle.
Well, no,
you say 200,000 and somebody winks at you from across the bar.
It looks like a shadow.
Yeah.
that I'm like, okay.
Look, the ovens weren't that big. Okay.
That's like their centrist stake is they're like, look, some Jews died, but
if we were skinny, you could stack a lot of us.
Nice. It was mean.
On my old podcast, my old co-host and I used to have a bit called "Jewing Down the Holocaust." Yes. we would say, look, it's undeniably tragic that 6 million Jews died in the Holocaust. 3 million Jews never should have been killed. It's really sad. It's really unfortunate that 200 Jews didn't get to eat lunch that day.
Yeah. Yep. The culling.
Yeah. Jewing stuff down is so funny. Jews have as much as we joke around, they have enriched my life so much.
Oh, absolutely.
I love them more than anything, dude.
A very cool group of people.
They're fun if you're in with them. If you're not in with them.
Well, I mean, even if you're not, like, it's still. I mean, culturally, obviously, they've added a bunch of good shit, and just like you see something like like the big Jew culture moment for me in the last few years was Beau is Afraid.
Oh, yes,
and
dude.
Ari Aster calling that Jewish Lord of the Rings. Yeah. It's like, dude, that is first of all, that's one of my favorite movies that's come out in a long time.
Amazing.
I loved that movie so much, and it's just like it felt like I was seeing into another culture, and the way that it's materialized into America is like, yeah, Jews eat paint. That's like, of course.
It is just the ultimate hell of having a Jewish mother. That's why the last line of that movie is perfect. After she puts her own son on trial and he dies, the last line uttered is, she goes, "My baby."
Yeah.
I'm like, that's...
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Such a good movie.
I have my mom obviously didn't know that she was Jewish, but she is very overbearing. Like, it like looks like a duck, quacks like a duck. It's and everything but name. I mean, we know now, but I'm like,
I say it looks like a duck, it quacks like a duck. It is a Jew. That's funny. Yeah.
Jews eat paint and have feathers.
Yeah.
Also,
we used to think they had horns, but that's actually an outdated idea. We now think they had feathers. Certain fossils indicate.
Well, the funny thing about the opening of that movie is I saw a bunch of people try to like jump through hoops about how like his fear of like downtown LA or maybe they might have shot in Toronto or something, but like they're like, oh, it's lampooning the conservative viewpoint of like what they think cities are like. I'm like, no, this is how he feels. I'm telling you, this is 100%. Like,
I mean, it's the fear, and it's not that far off. Honestly, it's pretty fucking nuts,
dude. I lived in downtown LA. It got fucking crazy, man.
Yeah, dude. In Portland, I mean, like that looked like Portland. Like just naked guys walking around trying to stab people.
I mean,
that is not. Yeah, dude. Like that is. Yeah, if you leave the door open, they come in. Yeah.
It's so true, man.
How we doing on time?
Actually, let's bring this in for a close.
Cool.
Okay. We'll do like 10 more minutes.
Yeah.
I know you got to be at the mic, right?
Yeah, I got to pee.
What time is it?
It is 5:20. So
Okay.
yeah, I gotta leave in 20 minutes.
All right, we'll bring this in for
Cool.
a close.
Yeah.
But no, dude, I love Beau Was Afraid. Was like, I don't know if my girlfriend liked it. She liked parts of it.
Sure.
We went to see it, but the best part, man, everything with Patty LuPone is just amazing. At the end, she's so good. The mom.
Yeah.
And honestly, dude, when he kills Baltimore Queen, what the Parker Posey.
Oh yes, that was so funny.
Yeah.
when they carry her away and she looks like a mannequin.
Yeah,
like, dude.
I think it is so funny that he's terrified of his dad the whole time, and when they finally see him, he's a giant penis with spider legs. Who lives in the attic. That's so good.
My favorite thing is, you know, the fat guy with PTSD in that movie.
Yes.
That's the guy from the opening of Inglourious Bastards. He
It is.
Yeah, he's the farmer. He was hot and fit in Inglourious Bastards, but now he's like 300 pounds or something.
Yeah.
That's so crazy. Yeah,
Because
dude.
hiding Jews makes you hot. It raises your testosterone.
Yeah.
That movie was so good.
What's your secret? I have Jews under my floorboards.
Dude, maybe I need to start rounding
You're
up Jews
glowing.
in a positive way. Let me be clear, because there's two ways to round up Jews. You either do it in the nice way, where you got Anne Frank, or you do it in the bad way,
The trains
Yeah.
way.
which we shan't do.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I love that movie.
Dude, imagine a Holocaust with bullet trains. That's all I'm saying. Bullet trains and a facial recognition app. We're talking billions, folks. There aren't even enough of us for this genocide. You're gonna have to make more Jews just to kill us.
It'll be like the McDonald's sign, dude.
Yeah,
billions
exactly.
and billions.
Yeah.
Billions must be served.
Yes.
Yeah, no, I'm so glad that you're on this podcast as a total. I can just point to
Well,
you.
you said we got to wrap it up. I thought we'd bring it in for a nice genocidal landing.
Yes.
You feel that wheels touch the ground and you're still okay?
No, listen, I picked you guys. It was a calculated move to pick both of you guys because I had to have something to point to be like, look, I'm not evil. All right. Ben is a minority.
Yeah.
Noah is.
Yeah. What's up?
I'm short.
Noah is
you know?
short and technically queer. So it's like, listen,
Nick's like, that's why I started watching you 4 years ago.
It's
and
a
I
liberal
decided
podcast.
I watched you for 3 years from the courtyard.
That is, you know what's funny? That is how it. When I was like becoming friends with you guys was so interesting because I did feel like I was like approaching an animal in the wild. Because I don't know how to make friends anymore. I'm 30, so like I saw you guys. You wouldn't. I wanted to hang out with you after Mike's, but you'd always bail, which I get because I do too.
Yeah.
So I was like, I gotta corner these guys at the Lincoln Lodge, and then like ingratiate myself, like Jane Goodall essentially, and then like ingratiate myself enough with them to like trap them in a podcast.
Yeah.
I'm terrified of people. And so
same.
I just I want to get on stage and I want to leave as quickly as possible.
Right.
Is my go-to.
No,
He came up to me and Noah at Lincoln Lodge and he cupped both of our ball sacks. And we all stood there for 30 seconds and then we growled a little bit. But he held firm and he kept his eye contact. And then after that tense
Yeah, I
couple
tried to
minutes,
bite him and he put a finger in my ass. And I fucking,
yeah, exactly.
it was like, this guy is the boss of me, I guess.
And then I let him groom me.
I reset you like an iPhone. Well, no, because Noah is Noah's like more aloof, and I was like, I'll be friends with Noah. But then like Ben, the first time I talked with Ben, we bonded over doing mushrooms, and he was like, look, man, the thing about doing mushrooms is once you do them, you realize that magic is real, and I was like, I can talk to Ben. I was like, Ben and I are locked in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I'm and now look, we're fucking.
You feel safe with my level of intellect. Like you can say you can keep it wrapped up in.
No, what it was you were just like you were upon the first time talking. I was like, oh, this guy has no, like he just like there's no, he's not
Filter.
he's not too cool for anybody. You were
Yeah.
like just talking to me
Damn,
like we've
dude.
been old friends. It was nice.
Oh, cool, nice.
Yeah.
Oh,
No, I was, and now we're 9 episodes of a podcast.
Yeah, dude.
Right. This will I based on
I'm
my
playing the long game with you, Nick.
What do you mean?
I'll let you decide.
What? Okay. Well, all right. That's based on how all my previous podcasts went, I have to imagine that this will have a massive.
I'm gonna
blow up
fuck
and
you someday.
None
That's
of
why.
us will speak to each other in 3 years.
No, dude.
No.
I feel like we'll only speak to each other on microphones for the rest. No, we'll do more boy stuff.
No,
We gotta do
you
more
know
boy
what? We
stuff.
do have to because I came over here. We will end the podcast after that. I came over here for dessert after Thanksgiving. I had such a nice time.
That was
man.
so fun. That was very cool.
Oh yeah, I was at my mom's.
Yeah, you were at your mom's house.
It reminded me of this. I have been watching videos of kids doing galaxy gas ever since we had that conversation.
It's crazy.
We got to get into that.
I can't
No,
with
we-
my current life status.
If you take some B12, you
If
can
I
offset
take
it.
B12,
You're basically sober.
start going to church. I can do galaxy gas.
Just pretend you stood up really fast.
But I'm a little jealous. It seems like if I started doing galaxy gas, then me and my 21-year-old sister would get along really well. Like I think like I'd just open up the gates. I'd probably get famous.
I watched the kid.
You're killing so many brain cells every time.
Well,
you do that.
so that's what we thought, but then we started Google while we were having dessert. Like, and your friend Tori was like, "No, it depletes you of B12, which eventually destroys your spine. But if you take a little B12,
you can just take vitamins and even out."
Don't listen to Tori.
Tori, why? She's wise. I felt that she had accrued a lot of wisdom in her life. I really liked what she had to say.
You lose enough brain cells, and it suddenly becomes easier to rationalize doing Whippets.
I will say, I watched a video of a kid doing galaxy gas, and I think he died. There was a kid parked in a parking lot. He was doing galaxy gas so noticeably that people
notable gases.
I've seen that video.
Yeah,
and he died. He did die. He did die.
He does galaxy gas so hard that like he's like wow, and then he just slumps over in his seat.
Well, because you're suffocating your brain. It's literally what you're just denying oxygen to your brain.
Yeah, but what if I just do it like 20 or 30 times and then stop?
Just drink. How about this? Don't drink any water for a week. Just drink soda.
Yeah.
And then sit down for like 2 hours and stand up really fast.
Okay. All right.
Those are the Whippets God allows.
All right. Well, we'll start doing God's Whippets.
I do that every day.
Yeah. That's what I'm
doing
saying.
Whippets all the time.
I get tunnel vision. I'm going to get tunnel vision
just
when I stand
thirsty
up.
stand-up high.
Yeah. Exactly.
All right. I think that's it. All right, folks.
All right.
Thank you. We'll see you guys next week.